I am so excited for this feature, and I don't think people realize how much how we work on a daily basis is about to change forever. By the end of this video, you will have an understanding of what to delegate, how to set up, train, and start working with your very first AI teammate in a matter of minutes. Right now, a lot of AI features are useful, but kind of gimmicky. Most of us are using tools like ChatGPT to do a simple Google search, or we're getting AI summaries after a meeting. These features are handy, but they're not delivering the game-changing outcomes that AI promised to be. Asana's new AI Teammates feature is one of the most tangible ways I've seen that AI can have a direct and immediate impact on your business. Within minutes, you can have an AI teammate set up and actually start doing things for you, like draft copy, write reports, plan a project, conduct market research, or review an invoice. And the best part is, this isn't happening in some separate standalone new AI app. You work with your AI teammate just the same way you work with a human colleague directly in Asana. And the future isn't AI instead of humans, the future is humans and AI working together, each focusing on what they do best. And I really do believe Asana is one of the best placed organizations in the world to help you take advantage of this technological revolution. First, I'll show you how to create your very first AI teammate, and then I will show you some of the actual teammates that we are now working with on a daily basis here at Ringo. Let's get into it. To create your first AI teammate, first navigate to the Workflow tab on your sidebar, and you should see the AI Teammates option. Now, to enable this feature, you may need to contact sales at Asana, or you can click the link in the description to request a quote and get help with your subscription through Ringo. We are a Gold Solutions partner. Now, at the time of recording, there are some minimum seat requirements to use this new feature. Those will be dropping in the coming months, but you can start a trial and start experimenting with teammates today. To create your first teammate, click the Create AI Teammate button up here. From here, you can choose to start with one of the pre-built teammates that Asana has created. These are great for giving you ideas of the types of things that teammates can help you with, or you can build one from scratch. Now, you'll notice that the teammates have very specific names, like status reporter or creative spec writer or bug investigator. And that is because teammates are really set up with a very specific task in mind. And that's how you should think of your AI teammates. Unlike a human employee who you hire with a job description and they do lots of different tasks for you, an AI teammate is created with a specific repeatable task in mind. For example, my first teammate I set up was this onboarding assistant teammate, which you can click here to customize. And if I close this, here's the onboarding assistant that I created. I've actually renamed him to Toby. Toby because I'm a fan of the US office, and Toby HR department felt like a good name for me. What I've done is I've customized Toby with the projects and teams I'd like him to have access to. I've even given Toby access to documentation from our Google Drive, some SOPs here, so he can reference important information. Now, and here's an example task I assigned to Toby, I said, what do I do when I get booked for a sales call? Toby was able to read our documentation and give me an answer here with what happens and what I should do next. So it's like having a human colleague I can interact with who responds actually faster directly here in Asana. And so Toby's one job is to help with onboarding, answering questions. And so my team, instead of having to read documentation or have to ask an HR department person and wait for a response, now they can just ask Toby. So that's great, but let's create a teammate that can actually do something. And I think teammates are a lot more useful when you build your own custom teammate specific for use cases and workflows in your business. For example, let's create a teammate who can look at a blog post and then draft copy for social media ideas. Now, if you want, you can create your teammate completely from scratch by clicking the Add Blank Teammate button up here. This is going to require you to fill in the description, behavior, and set up project access manually. When I've been creating teammates, I've been writing a description in here, and the teammate will actually kind of build itself, which is really cool. So I'm going to say here, Your job is to read the blog post I give you, build out 2 to 4 social media post ideas, use the reference material provided as a guide on tone and brand, suggest if the post would work better as an image carousel or reel, and draft the copy for each of your ideas. If approved, add them to, and I can mention my content project, that's really nice there, linking to the actual project I want the teammate to work in. So let's go ahead and create the teammate now. Asana is going to review the request, and it's going to start populating the description and behavior guidance and access for me, rather than me having to do that from scratch. So let's give it a minute. Okay, so my teammate is basically ready to go. You can see the description here has been populated, which I can tweak and adjust if I need to. The behavior guidance has also been set up, and the teammate will have access to my content project. Now, I can, if I want to, change the permission, just like I can with a human colleague. I can give this teammate either full project admin access, I can make them an editor, or maybe just a commenter if I don't want them to edit anything, or even just a viewer. We're going to give this teammate edit access. If I want, I can add additional projects or team access down here, but this teammate is only going to need access to content for now. And the last thing I might do is just change their name up here. Social media content creator, I don't think it's very useful. I'm going to call this teammate Jimmy. Jimmy, if you know, you know, one of the biggest content creators in the world. Okay, and on the left here, Jimmy, I can start to give Jimmy my first task. I'm gonna leave this for now. I'm just gonna go ahead and create and then start working with this teammate. Now, this is the teammate page. This is where I can edit settings for this teammate, attach additional documentation, and you can see the teammate or Jimmy in this case, has already completed his first task to introduce himself. And a little description down here of what he's gonna help me with, which is lovely. Before I get Jimmy to do some actual work though, I'm gonna attach some documentation that's gonna help Jimmy do his job. So I'm gonna click the Add Work button, and I'm gonna choose Google Drive, because we keep a lot of our information in Google Drive, and it's actually suggesting some files here, and I'm gonna link our content SOP. This is a document where we describe the best practices we like to follow when creating and publishing content. And remember, context is really important. The more context and resources you can give your teammate, the better quality the output and work they will produce. So I think Jimmy is ready for his first task. Let's go back to work, and we're going to go to content here. This is our content calendar. This is where we plan videos and content that we are producing. And here is a video we produced or released back in January, 5 golden rules of Asana. I want to do some social media posts for this video now. So firstly, I'm going to create a subtask, draft social media post ideas. Let's click into that. I'm going to put the link to the blog post in there, and let's assign this to Jimmy. We're going to put his name on it there, and Jimmy is now working on the request. So we'll give him a minute to have a think, and let's see what he says. You can see while Jimmy's working what's happening. So he's currently reading the post. I can click here to view the activity if I actually want to get a bit of a log of what Jimmy is actually doing to process this request. So really cool, actually. I love this. If I need to, I can click the stop button here to stop Jimmy doing any further work. Okay, Jimmy has posted a comment here with an update on where he's at. He's actually still working, hasn't finished yet, but he's read through the blog post. He's drafted a set of social media post ideas, struggled with some of the guidelines, so he's looked at the website instead. I can draft the copy and present it for your approval, but I'm not able to directly publish. That's fine, we don't need you to do that. And you can see Jimmy has even created some additional subtasks to manage his work. You can see that one, he just completed his task there. If I click into it, identify the best social media post angles. So he's done that work. If I go back to my subtask, draft complete copy for each post idea, he's done this now. And let's go back here. And by the way, you don't have to sit and watch your teammate like I'm doing, although it is quite fun. You can go and make a coffee, make a phone call, do some other work, and your teammate will keep working in the background. Okay, and it looks like Jimmy is about done. So he said here, I've drafted 6 social media post ideas based on the blog content, LinkedIn post, Twitter X, short form reel, And he's given me a subtask, which actually we can see here as well. So Jimmy, when he's done with the work, is actually assigning me a task to go and do the approval. So I can click into here and let's see what he's done. So, wow, okay, so post 1, full carousel, some copy here, slide 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1 for each of our golden rules, some captions. He's got post number 2, 3. Look at this detail. And a summary table. Look at that. So, and he's made some assumptions down here. So look at that. Within the space of 2 minutes, I have a bunch of really well thought out ideas that I can now take to the next step. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to comment back at Jimmy. I'm going to ask him what to do next, and I'm going to give him some feedback. So I've said, great work, Jimmy. Let's schedule numbers 1, 3, because I love X threads, and 5 to go out over the next 3 weeks. I can see you struggle with the guidelines for next time. We're going for a casual, concise tone, and please make sure you factor in YouTube Shorts. So we'll comment there, and Jimmy will, hopefully, if he's following the steps correctly, create some additional tasks on our content calendar. Okay, so I can see Jimmy has now finished the next steps. He's actually created some additional tasks to manage the posting for those pieces of content. However, what I've noticed, if I go back to my original subtask, which he's now marked as complete because Jimmy's done his work, he's added the social media posts here, but they're not actually on my content calendar view, which I would like, because I'd like to see when we're posting. So what I'm going to do is actually just try and give Jimmy a bit more guidance, a bit more feedback for next time so he does the work the way I want. Thanks, Jimmy. You got to be polite to the AI. Can you multi-home each of these new tasks / posts into the main content project so I can see when they're scheduled to go out? Please remember this for next time. Let's do that and see how Jimmy does. And there we go. I can see in real time he has added the posts to the project, which is really cool. So working with your AI teammate is very much like working with a colleague. You can chat back and forth, and you can actually give them feedback to help them with their job. So I can see here the different subtasks that he's created are now showing up on my actual content calendar with the notes and the descriptions that Jimmy prepared, all ready to go. And let me just finish by showing you, as I've been giving Jimmy feedback, if I go back to my AI teammates and open up Jimmy here, you can see the memory has been updated. As I've been providing feedback, Jimmy is remembering to multi-home tasks into the content project. He's remembering that I like X and Twitter threads and YouTube Shorts as well. So as you work with them, they get better and better over time. So I think Jimmy passed the test. He's great. I think we'll keep him. So what I might do here is just share Jimmy with other people on my team. So John here is my YouTube content planner, editor, producer. I'm going to give him full AI teammate admin access. So John has the ability to coach Jimmy, provide feedback, make changes, that type of thing. I could make him just simply an editor or user of my teammate if I wanted to, but that's going to be good for me. So I think Jimmy's going to be a great addition to the team, and you can see literally within a matter of minutes, Jimmy is up and running and working for us, contributing to the team. Now let me show you a couple of other teammates we're using here at Minaco. So next up, we have Bill, named accordingly because Bill's job is to help analyze invoices. We get invoices from the various members on our team. We pay commission and we pay consulting fees for the work that they do. And Bill's job is to read the PDF invoice and work out how much is commission versus the consulting fee. I like to report on that separately in our P&L. Bill has access to our leadership project where we manage our invoices. And you can see Charmaine on my team has already given Bill some feedback on how to do the work. And if I give you an example of how Bill works, let's go to leadership here. Here is an example task, so pay contractor invoice John Smith. And actually what I'm doing with Bill, if I go to my project customization rules, I've actually created a rule where when an attachment is added to a task and the task is in the invoices to pay section, the rule will comment at Bill to please analyze the invoice. So I've got this task ready to go. Bill's not doing anything just yet, But if I attach this sample invoice to the task, let's watch what happens. There's my rule, so Bill has now been notified. And we can see Bill is getting to work. So AI teammates become even more powerful when you layer them on top of your existing workflows if you're using rules, for example. So now Bill is gathering information about this PDF. He's been asked to analyze the invoice and he's finished the job. You can see he's now worked out that the consulting fee is 4.5 and the commission is 1,500. He's even added the invoice number to the task name as well. So that is a task that Charmaine on our team used to do manually. She'd go through the invoice to work out those numbers. Now, Bill does this for us. And this is a great example of the kind of work that can be done by an AI instead of a human. AI is great at reading information and summarizing it or pulling out key details. It's great at writing new copy or drafting reports. And where Charmaine used to have to do that task manually herself before, now she can work on other things that only a human can do, like supporting our clients and building relationships. And so I really feel like my job as a manager, as a leader, is changing. Where before you used to have to think about who on my team shall I assign this work to, now, before I get to that, I should be thinking about, is this task something that should be done by an AI or a human? And let me show you one more. I've got to show you Ringo. Now, Ringo's job is to support John and I in our content project. And if you can work out why he's called Ringo, leave me a comment down below. I swear the best part about coming up with AI teammates is coming up with fun names. And so we've used Ringo a little bit already. So we worked with Ringo the other day when planning this video. John said here at Ringo, here are some of the talking points we want to cover in the video. We talked about key messages we want to communicate for this video. And he created some draft copy and some hooks and key talking points here. In this case, Ringo kind of got us about 80% of the way there. We still had to refine the script a little bit ourselves, but he certainly saved us a lot of time in just coming up with a nice script. He even added it to the parent task description, which is what I read or refer to when I'm recording our videos. So Ringo has been a great addition to the team. Now, it is still early days for AI teammates. We've only had access to this feature for the last week or so, but already I am extremely excited. I can see so much potential, not only for ourselves in our business, but for our customers as well. And if you would like help getting more out of Asana or growing your team by setting up your first few AI teammates, then click the link in the description to book an introductory call with our team. Now, I should point out at the time of recording, there are some usage limits that apply to AI teammates. You can have or submit 100 requests per month, and there are some minimum requirements to start paying for AI teammates, but you can start a trial today. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment down below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.